When your wife sits you down and says, look, I think I need some space, it feels like your whole world stops. One part of you wants to grab her and say, no, please, let's work this out. And another part wants to shut down and protect yourself from rejection. That instant feeling of your back warming up and feeling hot from anxiety. And underneath it all, there's fear. Fear she doesn't love you anymore and that she's already gone in her heart. Fear that no matter what you do, it's not going to be enough. But what if I told you that I need space doesn't always mean it's over. It means something deeper. And if you understand what's really going on beneath those words, you can respond in a way that rebuilds connection. In this video, I'm going to break down the hidden meaning behind I need space, the most common mistakes men make to actually widen the gap, and the grounded way to respond that makes her feel safe and start to close that gap. But before I get into it, if you're currently in this situation and struggling in your marriage and you actually want to fix the real problem behind the distance, watch my free masterclass. The link is in the description of this video below. So most men treat this concept of space like a deadline. They think, she just needs a few days, I'll give her some room and she'll come back. But the reality is space doesn't change the emotional climate. Her asking for space doesn't mean that the space itself is going to fix things, which is the trap I alluded to that a lot of men get caught up in mentally. Generally, when a woman says she needs space, it's because of one or a combination of three things. She feels emotionally unsafe, so she doesn't feel she can share what's really in her heart without being dismissed or judged or basically an argument being caused because of it. She feels emotionally drained, where instead of being energized by the relationship, she feels exhausted of carrying the weight of the connection by herself. And or she feels emotionally unseen. She's tried to communicate to you over and over about her emotions, but she doesn't feel that you've truly gotten it. So now she starts to pull back or is essentially giving up emotionally. So instead of telling you how she feels, that she feels smothered by your over-explaining or that she doesn't trust you with her feelings right now, she says the words, I think I need some space. What she's really creating is a buffer because something about the dynamic in your relationship feels heavy or disconnected. She might not even consciously understand what's wrong, and to be honest, most women don't. But inside her nervous system, the relationship no longer feels like a place she can relax and breathe. There's been enough disconnected behavior on your part over a period of time in the relationship where it starts to build this confirmation bias in her head that you're never going to improve and that's just the way you are. Which is how the eroding process of disconnection to the point of her saying, I need space, is created. This is why so many men misinterpret it. They hear it as rejection, but often really it's just a cry for relief. And here's the good news. Relief can be created when you shift how you show up. So because most men interpret her asking for space the wrong way, I want to show you three different but very common, very incorrect response types that men show up as when their lady says she needs space. First, we have the chaser. The chaser panics and doubles down. He texts nonstop during the day when he's at work and she's at home or she's also at work, and he's pleading for talks and essentially makes her feel smothered and pressured. That makes her want space even faster and probably more of it. Next, we have the avoider. He takes or infers space as a breakup. So he completely shuts down and goes cold and sulks and starts to play the victim. So with the avoider, she doesn't feel relieved, she feels completely abandoned. And finally, we have the negotiator. He tries to logic her way out of her feelings. And he says things like, but we can just work this out. We just need to talk and fix what's making you want that space. So she feels invalidated, like he still doesn't get it. And acting that way and being in a panic and not being a masculine leader is the problem that's making her want the space. All three of these response characters share one thing in common. They're reactive. They're driven by your fear instead of grounded leadership. Even if she can't explain it properly, this lack of leadership over time impacts her nervous system and she doesn't feel emotionally safe with you. And when she asks for space and you react in panic, it just adds to the confirmation bias that emotional safety doesn't exist with you and it's all about instability, thus pushing her further and further away. So understanding this concept, you need to be weary of falling into hidden traps. Don't use it as an excuse to check out. Space doesn't mean stop leading. Don't weaponize it by saying things like, fine, I'll give you space forever. That kind of passive aggressive stuff, that just proves you're operating from bitterness. That is communicating massive weakness on your part. And don't make it about you. When you collapse into, why don't you love me anymore? It's not leadership. It's just more and more pressure. It took me so many years and so much heartbreak and stress to get me to the point where I concluded my entire philosophy was wrong. The last straw was hearing the words, I love you, but I'm not in love with you anymore, and I think I just need some space, from my ex-fiance. That devastated me. And I went into a combination of the negotiator and the chaser, and I fell into the trap of putting more and more pressure and placing majority of blame onto her, asking her, why are you destroying something we've built and you're destroying our future? And questions like that, which ultimately led to the end of that relationship for good. I had to face the hard truth that I was not showing up as a leader in that relationship. I didn't know at the time, and I did a lot of soul searching to understand that my behavior in relationships over my decade of disaster, as I like to call it, got me the same result every single time. So when she tells you she needs space, every one of those reactions might feel justified in the moment, but they all destroy safety, and it's just going to make her want more and more distance. I want to give you a simple framework you can use. These are my 3 R's of responding to when she says, I need space. The first one is respect. Acknowledge her request for space without going into panic. You can simply say, I hear you, I respect that you need some time right now. Respect helps lower her defenses, because when she's got that confirmation built up about you and how you operate in the relationship, she's expecting you to panic. And when you don't, you're doing yourself a lot of favors as to the potential future of the relationship. The second R is regulate yourself. Space doesn't mean total absence. You don't disappear into a cave. You have to stay warm, grounded, and consistent in your everyday life. This shows her you're solid, you're not sulking, and this type of response helps chip away at the confirmation bias she has built up. And the third is rebuild yourself. Use the space as fuel for growth. Instead of obsessing about what she's doing or thinking, you focus on becoming more grounded and more present, more connected to your values. That shift in you is what makes her start to feel drawn back again. Focus on becoming the version of you she'd actually want to come back to and continue building an amazing life with. By using this framework, you're taking a moment that feels like the beginning of the end, her saying she needs space, and turning it into the beginning of positive change and forward thrive in your relationship. Mindset plays such a huge role in how you approach things, and it's no different here. You have to understand that her saying she needs space is not always about rejection. When you have such a long history together, it should be taken as a reset and an invitation. This is an invitation for you to rise into a stronger version of yourself. Think of it like this. Right now, she doesn't trust your emotional leadership. She says, until you can show me something different, I can't count on you. The men who save their marriages are the ones who stop reacting. So when she asks for space, your mindset has to be, this is my moment to stay grounded, show calm strength, and learn how to start creating safety in our marriage. When you dissolve the mentality of seeing space as rejection and start seeing it as a window to reset the emotional climate, things start to get more in control again. Let's now stand back a bit and bring this all together. If she's saying, I need space, it's not just about this one moment. It's a reflection of the emotional climate in your marriage. And if you don't take recognition of that and start to make a shift in the climate, the distance is only going to start to grow more. If you learn how to lead yourself differently and step into the role of a grounded man, you can change all of that. This is why I put together the free masterclass. It gives you the roadmap for rebuilding respect, connection, and intimacy, even if she's cold and saying she needs space right now. Click the link in the description now to watch it. Remember, when she says, I need space, it's not the end. It's an invitation. The question is, will you react from fear or rise to the kind of man she's been wanting to feel again? And if this video helped you, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next episode.